Here I have my Nikon Z6 II with the 85mm f1.8 from Meike. This is an autofocus lens for the full frame systems. And here I have another Nikon Z6 II with the Meike 85mm f1.4. This is also an autofocus lens for the full frame cameras. So let's go out and have some fun with these two cameras, these two lenses, and make some comparison between these two. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm PhotoRabs. If you don't know me, I'm a portrait photographer based in France, but I make lots of content on YouTube about photography and videography products, action cams, vlogging kits, and so on. If you are interested in these topics, I highly appreciate if you go subscribe to my channel. That's a massive help. And as you noticed from the intro of this video, I'll be talking about these two lenses today. The 85mm 1.8 from Meike. This is an autofocus lens for the full frame. I'll be using it on my Nikon Z6 II. And this is the new version, the 85mm 1.4 full frame autofocus lens, also from Meike, on the second Nikon Z6 II that I have, so we can have a fair comparison between these two lenses. Previously, I made a video comparing this 85mm from Meike to this Nikon 85mm 1.8. And the images were incredible with this Meike. It feels a little bit cheaper than this one. Well, it's really cheap. It's about maybe the third of the price of the Nikon lens, but the images were amazing with this one. You can go check that video. I will put the link in the description, and maybe I can add a card here so you can click on it and go watch it. But the Meike 85mm 1.8 was really incredible, and it was amazing compared to the Nikon 1.8. So let's see how it will stand against this 85mm 1.4. This is the new one. By the way, the price of this 1.4 lens is about the double of the price of this one. So is it worth upgrading from the 1.8 to the 1.4? Is it worth the investment, the extra money that you can put? Because the new lens is bigger, is heavier, is bulkier, and in all aspects, by the way, and it's double the price of the old version, and you can have only 2/3 of a stop brighter with the new version with the 1.4 compared to the 1.8. So let's go out on a photo shoot and make a fair comparison between these two lenses in real conditions. A quick disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Meike. They sent me this 85mm 1.8 when it was released. A few months ago I made a review about it, but when I saw that they released the 1.4 autofocus lens for the Z mount, I bought it immediately with my own money. So this is not a sponsored video, keep that in mind. I'm recording the audio with my Sennheiser MKE600 that I have here, and by the way, very soon I'm changing the setup of my office of this YouTube setup, so stay tuned if you'd like to see the transformation of this space that I'm using now. And I'm recording also with this wireless pro from Rode. By the way, I did not bought these microphones. Rode reached out and they told me, we would like to offer you these microphones. You don't have to make content about them, you don't have to do anything, but I would like to try them. So this is now the first test with this wireless pro from Rode. Let me know what you think about the audio quality in the comment section below, and I'll try on the screen to put whether I'm using the Rode audio or the Sennheiser audio, so you can discover yourself whether this microphone can fit your needs in a home studio setup. I'm having it with the lavalier mic just here on my shirt, and this is the transmitter unit. I have it here, so I have it clipped in my pocket, and I have the lavalier mic here. So let me know what you think about the audio quality in the comment section below. And before I talk about the conditions for the photo shoot that I made with these two lenses, I would like just to tell you that now I'm hosting lots of giveaways on the membership area on my channel. You can be a member for a very cheap price and you can enter the giveaway immediately. I'm giving away gimbals, lights, tripods, bags, action cams, and so on. So if you are interested, you can go join the membership area, and I'll be hosting lots of giveaways on that section on my channel. And now let's talk a little bit about the conditions of this photo shoot that I organized. I went out with these two lenses, of course, and I took with me my two Nikon Z6 II, so we can have a fair comparison. And by the way, very soon I'll be upgrading one of them to the Nikon Z6 Mark III. So if you are interested, stay tuned on my channel. I'll be talking about the Z6 Mark III a lot in the upcoming weeks. So I took these two lenses and we went to a wheat field. I wanted to shoot just before the sunset so we can have these amazing backlit scenes and these nice creamy bokeh. So that's why I took these two lenses to that specific area, and I was shooting in the widest aperture possible, 1.8 on this one and 1.4 on this one. I know the results cannot be really comparable because we have 2/3 of a stop of difference on this one compared to this one, but I tried to compensate with the shutter speed because we had lots of light. So now let's have a look on some of the images and try to guess yourself which one was taken by the Meike 1.8 lens and which one was taken by the Meike 1.4 lens. Let me know your thoughts, your guesses in the comment section below. You might say why you use them at 1.4 and 1.8 while you can use them both at 1.8 and have a fair comparison, a 100% correct comparison between these two lenses. But for me, I wanted to use them in the way I would like to use these lenses, at the widest aperture possible, to have the amazing shallow depth of field and bokeh in the background. So that's what I'm aiming to have when I'm using such lenses. That's why I decided to make the photo shoot at 1.8 on this one and 1.4. And now tell me, did you find any difference in the images that you just saw? So let's roll back the images once again, but this time I will write on the bottom of the screen with which lens every shot was taken, and try to let me know how many photos you got right in the comment section, so just we can have this discussion about these two lenses, the 1.8 and the 1.4. After using these two lenses for quite some time now, I can give you my honest opinion about them, whether it's worth upgrading from this one to this one. In my opinion, there is a huge difference. This one, the 1.4, feels much more premium than this one, although they are both made from plastic, but this looks really cheap compared to this one. And I believe that the plastic that was used to build the 1.4 lens is a much higher quality than the plastic used for this 1.8. I'm not sure about that, but on the 1.4 I don't like at all this stiffy lens hood. I think that it's gonna break on me very soon. I hope not, but it don't feel well when I put it on and off. And I love that we have this clicky aperture ring on this 1.4 lens that we don't have at all on the 1.8, and that's a huge advantage for me to use the 1.4 over the 1.8. When the focus is nailed properly on these two lenses, we can have great image quality, we can have great sharpness even at f1.4 on this one and at f1.8 on this one on the widest aperture. And I know that if we close down a little bit the aperture we can have a better image quality. But when we have a 1.8 lens and the 1.4 lens to use on a portrait photo shoot, we will go with the widest aperture to have the amazing shallow depth of field and the great bokeh in the background. That's why I made my tests once again on the widest aperture, and I know if we close down the aperture ring, we can have an even better image quality. During this photo shoot, I had my two Nikon Z6 II on me, so I can switch between one and the other one to make somehow the exact same shot with these two lenses, the 1.8 and the 1.4, at maybe a few seconds of difference. I was compensating for the 2/3 of a stop brighter on the 1.4 on the camera with the 1.8 lens by dialing the shutter speed accordingly, so we can have somehow the same exposure. And the first impression was like the 1.8 is a little bit tighter on the frame compared to the 1.4. Every time I was framing my shot with the 1.4 lens, I had to go backward maybe 1 or 2 steps to get somehow the same frame with the 1.8. So for me, this is a real condition test and not a lab test once again. Of course, I could have set up my camera in my home studio and compare the focal length accordingly, but I wanted to do that out and about when I'm doing a photo shoot outdoors. So for me, there is quite some difference between the focal length of these two 85mm. This one, the 1.8, is a little bit tighter on the frame than the 1.4 lens. I got with these two lenses great images. The colors are fantastic. I really love them. The bokeh is amazing. Even on the 1.8 version, the bokeh is really interesting. Although we have the 1.4, which should be much better, but both are really interesting. For me, the main difference is the autofocus. Even if the autofocus on this 1.8 is interesting, is reliable, is accurate, when the scene is well lit, when we have normal conditions. When I compared it to the Nikon previously, I didn't have any issues in autofocus. But in this photo shoot, in harsh sunlight with backlit subjects, this one was struggling a lot. Like a lot. At some moment I thought that I cannot make this comparison because this one was hunting a lot and was not nailing the focus at all, so I had to switch a little bit to manual focus to adjust, to fine-tune the focus, if I can say that. So the autofocus of this 1.8 lens is a disaster in backlit scenes compared to this one, which was very interesting, very accurate, reliable, fast, and I really loved how the autofocus did not hunt even once with the 1.4 version. So we have a great improvement on the autofocus motors on this lens compared to this 1.8 version. This lens, the 1.4 version from Meike, is a very interesting lens for portraits outdoors, even in harsh scenes, in backlit scenes. This one was performing perfectly. The images were amazing, and I can say this is for me the best choice for outdoor portraits compared even to the Nikon 85mm 1.8 here. For me, this one is a better value than the Nikon. This one cost about 540 euros to the day I'm recording this video, or 550 euros. The Meike 1.8 is about 280 euros, while the Nikon 1.8 is about 900 euros. So it's way cheaper than the Nikon. It's double the price than the 1.8 version. For me, it's worth every euros because the results were really incredible with this lens. And once again, it feels much more premium than the 1.8 version. The autofocus is much better, much better. And also on this one, we have this red gasket here. This is for weather sealing. That means that you can use this lens if you would like to shoot under light rains. That won't be a problem at all. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please like this video for the algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done it. Check my affiliate links down below. If you buy through my affiliate links, you save some money on some products. On some others, you don't save money, but you don't pay extra money, but you help my channel a lot. And don't forget to join my membership area because I'm hosting lots of giveaways. I'll be giving away wireless mics, wired mics, tripods, camera backpacks, action cams, and lots of stuff. So feel free to join the membership area. I'll be making lots of giveaways during this summer. And that's it once again. Thank you for watching. Ciao for now.